Watch and burn.
Hey everyone. So tonight I want to talk about Desolation House's fifth release, or Hour 5, and this is Amazing Grace's Revival Times. This, well, actually, I think I touched on this in one of the other reviews I did regarding one of the releases for Desolation House, but I found that the album artwork really complemented how the album sounded, and the album sounded like the artwork. You know, like with, for example, Subterranean Source's Vivid Circles. It felt like you were lost in a forest being chased by something. And that's what the artwork suggested. Grunt Splatters chronicling the famine. Again, the cover art, it felt very plague-like, very clinical, and sort of like lost in a sea of decay. And that's how that album felt to me, like with this, I don't know, it felt like there was a lot bubbling under the surface. Nothing good was bubbling under the surface, actually. So I do find that the artwork tends to complement the music and vice versa, and Amazing Grace's Revival Times is possibly, up until this point at least, the best example of that, because this album sounds like it was recorded in some kind of old church, and that's, of course, what the cover art is centered around. It sounds like there's an echo at play in a larger indoor structure like an old church, and it doesn't, I don't want to say this album creaks, but I get that vibe like I'm trapped in an old church and I can't leave. Now, maybe that's just because I'm associating this with an old church because of the artwork, but I do have to say I really feel like the artwork is sort of like a visual representation of the music and vice versa. This album, it feels old, and it feels like it could have been recorded in an old church, perhaps. Who knows, right? I mean, it didn't specify that, and I'm sure it wasn't, but the suggestion, it's definitely a realistic possibility. And I found that this album, it feels sort of weathered, and there's a lot of, like, historical weight here, so to speak. And this one, again, this would be my favorite up until this point. This and Grunt Splatters chronicling the famine, as far as the first 5 releases are concerned. Revival Times from Amazing Grace completely blew me away. This would definitely go down as one of my all-time favorites from the 11 releases, even though I didn't really feel like they missed it all, even with the noise releases, which I just straight up don't like. I still don't feel like they were a waste of time. I just feel like they weren't for me. And Amazing Grace's Revival Times has a real sense of history and, again, depth and purpose and meaning. And the music tends to sort of, like, it's hard to contain, and it feels like it's trying to burst at the seams. And it's got so much to say without uttering a word. And I absolutely love this. Now, I think I've said this before as well. This whole dark ambient thing, this isn't for most people. Most people say they've heard one, they've heard them all, and I couldn't disagree more, and definitely not with this. This album was so unique, and it felt so fresh, and it just continued for Desolation House to continue sort of raising the bar for really high-quality dark ambient and atmospheric and even noise releases. And yeah, so look, I'm going to go. So thank you so much for sitting with me while I discussed Amazing Grace's Revival Times, which was Desolation House's 5th release, or Hour 5. And don't forget, if you like this video, do something nice for someone. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe too. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys soon, because I have done so many of these. It's ridiculous. I've got enough for years and years at this point, and I don't know why I haven't stopped yet. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button, because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.